I just wanted to talk about the latest episode of Super. Of course, you guys know that. If you came here to review, you know that. And I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on it. So I hope you guys do enjoy it. I was a little late. I didn't watch it last night. I had already had like a little bit of it kind of spoiled because I was a little late, but it is what it is. It's not the biggest of deals for me. Like I don't really personally care, but I do know some of you guys get kind of like, bothered by that, and that's fine. But anyways, hope you guys enjoy this. Let's go ahead and talk about the latest episode of Super. So that being said, the episode, contextually, there's not a lot to say. Basically, it's just Goku versus KALIFLA, and then Kale joins in later. They're trying to attain Super Saiyan 3, and I don't necessarily know how I feel about this, because what this is the show is just continually finding ways to try to further the development of Kale and KALIFLA a lot sooner, right? Because if you look at those characters, yes, they have immense potential. That can't be disputed, right? But they're doing it purposely by pitting them up against a character like Goku, who, of course, can teach them things, can show them things that they don't know exist, and they're finding a way to say, hey, we want these characters to rapidly progress. How can we do that? And it's a I'm not gonna lie, it's a major ass pull to do something like that, but they've been doing it for a while, right? Normally with these characters, that's just not how things go. But like I said, they've been doing it for a while. They did it with Trunks, and I think Trunks is about where that really started to kind of pick up. Because they did it a bit in the Buu saga, but it wasn't the biggest of deals, because we kind of also understood that, Goku spent a long time training, but then of course we have Goten and Trunks, but they're okay. They only are Super Saiyan 1. They're not like crazy powerful. They don't continue to get crazy powerful from there. And of course their fusion is a little bit different, because that's a fusion. It has a higher damage multiplier. It's not really damage multiplier, excuse me. Power multiplier after that and things of that nature. So it makes sense in that context. And, they're prodigy, so you can kind of let that slide. But Super's been getting kind of outlandish with that. And again, I don't dislike the characters. I really like KALIFLA, and she's my preferred between her and Kale, which you guys can let me know your thoughts in the comments. But I don't dislike the character. I just don't like that speed method, right? But I do understand why they're doing it. They don't have time to sit there and really develop this character. And I kind of feel like they should have brought them out like way prior to when they did, if that's the case, because they've been doing that all along. I mean, the very first time we see this character, she goes Super Saiyan, like KALIFLA, and then Kale goes Berserk and stuff like that. So it's like they've been doing it all along, and I don't really know, man. It remains to be seen how powerful these guys will actually wind up being by the time this is over. And it's starting to really make me think that Universe 6 is going to win this tournament, because I'm not sure as to why they would sit there and eliminate Hit. Right, they would eliminate Hit, who's obviously undisputably the most powerful character in their universe, for their team. And then on top of that, they would sit there and say, "Oh, Kaba may not be as strong as them, which is perfectly fine." But they also have him say, "You guys are the ace. You guys are the secret weapon." And it's like they're the only real notable characters there. I don't think they're Namekians or doing anything. We still don't know what Dr. Rota's ability was. So it's starting to really seem like somehow, some way, they may wind up winning this, especially if you watch the next episode preview, which I'm not going to really talk about in this. So, I don't know, just kind of like my thoughts on Kale and KALIFLA. Again, I don't dislike the characters. That's just kind of where this show is taking them. So it remains to be seen what happens from there. But like I said, there's not a whole lot to really talk about. It's just them fighting Goku. And of course, Goku hasn't progressed yet to be able to go Super Saiyan 3. And a lot of people, excuse me, a lot of people were wondering, like, why would he even do that? Because he's trying to recover his stamina, which I talked about it last week. It's really interesting how now characters can just recover stamina on the fly, in the midst of battle and stuff, which wasn't always necessarily the case. But it's cool how they do that now, so I can appreciate that. But still, basically, a lot of people were wondering why he would do that, and it winds out that he doesn't really necessarily stay in the form. He probably would have if he could have, but basically he goes Super Saiyan 3 and then loses it because he doesn't have the stamina to maintain that form. And if you know anything about Super Saiyan 3, it has always been a form that was touted as being incredibly difficult to control, which I don't. It kind of is weird to me how like this character and these characters can master like their ki to the degree that they have to be able to go like blue and stuff of that nature, which is like basically like a merging of keys, right? It's God ki, it's their regular Saiyan ki. To be able to master their ki to that degree, but still not be able to fully master, Super Saiyan 3 is kind of sketchy to me. But maybe it's just because he never really tried to, because he automatically just knew that it was a powerful form, it was a last resort form, and things of that nature. Or maybe it just simply can't be mastered to that degree to where it just doesn't drain you like that. Because we know, for example, Blue transforming into it and staying in the form, it was kind of a bit of a retcon. At first, it was kind of just like, hey, if you go into the form, it uses an immense amount of I was going to say chakra. Been watching too much Naruto lately. Oh boy, I literally just finished rewatching Shippuden. But no, stamina, right? Ki. No, not ki, excuse me. They're a little bit different. Stamina. So it uses a lot of stamina. And then from there, you know, being in the form is kind of how it is now. It's like, oh, you can go in and out, but you can't stay in the form for a while because it's like a battery drain. You know, the longer it's on, it's going to steadily drain. So it's interesting kind of looking at that. But my ramblings out the window. Kale and Caulifla, you know, Kale jumps in at the end. I'm not really too concerned about Kale, but this show is kind of interesting because, like I said, it's doing that speed training thing that I'm not necessarily fond of. And I'm glad that they included one line in there, because one line would have changed this entire episode, and then they did it. They start off the fight by saying that Goku's going to ease his way into, you know, fighting. And if they didn't do that, that would be really bad, because out of context, it kind of looks like Caulifla's SS2 form is equivalent to Goku's base form, which I would be perfectly fine with considering how powerful Goku is. But, you know, from there, she kind of goes Super Saiyan 2, or he goes Super Saiyan 2, and then she starts getting beat up a little bit. Then she adapts to it like Hit does. That's like the most annoying thing ever, but I love Hit, so it's okay. And then it's like, oh, they're fighting on even grounds. So that's a rapid progression. So I'm glad that they said he kind of was easing into it. He was just steadily leaking out more power, and, you know, just she was also adapting and keeping up to it. And they had a little interesting line in there where it's like, oh, Goku's a martial arts master, you're just a brawler, so that's why you can't hit him. But again, she kind of starts predicting and things of that nature. And then Kale jumps in at the end, and I want to be strong like Sis and fight with Sis and all this other stuff. And then she winds up going into Super Saiyan Berserk. But it's interesting because I watched the next episode preview, and I had the thought anyway, but the very first thing they say in that is that she mastered that form, which would make sense. So basically, this whole time, which also makes sense, basically the whole time, that other form, that Super Saiyan, regular Super Saiyan form that she's been using, you know, we call it mastered Super Saiyan, which is perfectly fine, but she's mastered both forms. It's just kind of like a suppressed version, which it's kind of weird the way that they handled that form when she unlocked it, when she mastered it. She went to that other one and acted like she didn't have control of the other one, of the Berserk one, which is cool, I guess. But apparently she does. Maybe she just got control of the Berserk form. So remains to be seen what happens from here. Either way, it was still a cool episode. I thought it was animated well. I did enjoy, you know, the homages to the original series, like with the after image technique and things of that nature. I did enjoy that. And they always find a way to sneak stuff like that in, and I can always appreciate that. So anyways, hope that you guys did enjoy this. Next week we have the birth of a new warrior. So anyways, have an awesome day. Thank you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy, guys.